Hello again, I'm Trophy and welcome to another video, and this one is actually something video game related. Again, I know I've been doing a lot of video game related videos, but it's to start with Doctor Who. There isn't really much going on. I know there's been rumours and stuff and there's new audio stories coming out, but for the meantime, I'm really focused on gaming. So if you wanted something to be, you know, a video involving Doctor Who, this will be, and I'm sorry for you lot. But for any of you who just want to watch my video, you know, thanks anyway. Now this one is actually something Sony and Microsoft related, and thinking about the latest news with the two companies. Now, for a while now, well, since last year, we found out that Sony was making a new upgraded PlayStation 4. At first it was rumoured to be called the PS4.5, and a lot of people were wondering, well, you know, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a whole new console, an add-on, or whatever? And I actually never did a video about it, but I wanted to, you know, do it now. And at the time, there were a lot of people saying, well, you know, I think this is good, you know, it's interesting, because it's supposed to be basically a more powerful PlayStation 4 with 4K capabilities. A lot of people were happy about it, but a lot of people weren't. And the reason a lot of people weren't happy about it was because of the fact that they assumed that there was going to be a lot of games that were going to be made for the PS4.5, but not the PS4. And when it was officially announced months after that Sony was doing this, it was called the PlayStation Neo. And again, it's an upgraded PlayStation 4 with 4K capabilities and all that stuff. And they did announce that it was going to have no PlayStation Neo exclusives, which kind of made it good for the consumer, because of the fact, you know, you bought this, you probably might have bought a PlayStation 4 about a year and a half ago, and to hear this, you know, that they're making a new, like, upgraded PS4, but there is no exclusive for it, was basically a good thing for a lot of consumers. And then obviously Microsoft, at first, they were not interested in it, but then there were lots of rumours coming out about an Xbox 1.5, the same thing, more powerful Xbox One, 4K capabilities, everything. And then it was revealed at E3 this year, in 2016, that the Xbox 1.5 was a real thing. And it is called the Xbox Scorpio, which, you know, that's what it is. You know, it's supposed to be more powerful than the original Xbox. The original Xbox One, sorry, not the Xbox, I mean the first one. It's supposed to be more powerful than the Model 1 Xbox One. And that's the thing. But they also announced the Xbox One S, which recently came out a few days ago, which is basically the Model 2, if you want to think like that. And, you know, that's the thing. Now, with the PS4 Neo, the PlayStation Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, they are supposed to be set to release next year. And my point about this is, could Microsoft, with the Xbox Scorpio and PlayStation Neo, Sony with PlayStation Neo, pull a new 3DS? Now, what I mean is that with the new 3DS by Nintendo, the new 3DS is very, very interesting handheld. I've had it for a few weeks now, almost a month now, and I love it. It's really good. But the thing that kind of put me off first when it came out was that there was nothing that made it worthwhile for the handheld. Because when it launched, it didn't really have anything. You know, obviously I'd like, you know, the NFC support built in, you know, super stable 3D, as well as, you know, a faster processor upgraded, you know, power and all that stuff. And when it launched, February 2015 for us in Europe and America, and October for the rest of the world, there was nothing that really made you think, I need a new 3DS. There was nothing that was, you know, compatible with it. Nothing, you know, released with it. And I remember thinking, I thought, that's a bit of a shame, because I thought if they actually had stuff with it, you know, people would go for it. You know, that's the thing. So, you know, with that, there was nothing at launch for, you know, for it. Obviously there were latest new games coming out for the 3DS, but not the new 3DS. And the first exclusive was Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, which is a part of the Wii game, you know, that's the thing. But that didn't come out until months later, and that's what kind of put off a lot of people. And then they released Super Nintendo Virtual Console games on the new 3DS, which is another topic I never talked about, but my thoughts about that was, I think it was good, but I thought there was no point upgrading to a new 3DS for it. I thought, well, why do you want that? You can play it on the Wii and the Wii U, you know, that's the thing. And it's a shame because of the fact that the new 3DS, I think, is a good handheld. But if there was a lot more games that were made for it, I think it would sell really, really well. And I think that's the problem with it, is that they need to try and sort something out for the new 3DS. But going back to the topic and stuff, Sony and Microsoft, for their upgraded consoles, I've stated that there isn't going to be any sort of exclusive for the PlayStation Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, which sounds good on the surface, thinking, oh, that's good, so I might not have to upgrade. So this kind of gives people thinking, well, you know, I'd rather stick with my PS4 or Xbox One, so I'm just going to stick with that for the meantime and play all the games that come out for it. So they did say that, you know, everything that will work on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Neo by Sony, everything will work on it. And then Microsoft announced at E3 this year that everything will work on Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox Scorpio, which sounds nice. But there probably will be a problem with that, is that the hardware in the PS4 and the Xbox One is starting to get old. Because of the fact when the consoles came out, they were underpowered, but they were still powerful. That's the thing. Because in the 8th generation, you had the Wii U, the PS4, and the Xbox One, and all three consoles were really, really powerful. But the Wii U being the most underpowered, but it has a lot of great stuff under it. You know, that's the thing. It's a powerhouse. Every console in the 8th generation has a lot of stuff. But that was kind of the problem. The issue with it was due to the 2008 economic crash. Since the 7th generation, you know, the Wii, PS3 and the Xbox 360 lasted almost, well, basically 8 years, you know, that's the thing. And we should have had newer consoles like the 8th generation in like 2010, even 2011, but they couldn't do that because of the fact people just couldn't afford new consoles. So the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, basically had to keep those consoles going. And, you know, that's the thing. And the one thing that puts off a lot of people is that is in years to come, the Xbox One and the Xbox One and PS4, will not be able to actually handle those games. So with the PlayStation Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, they'll fully be, you know, they will fully be able to, you know, get those games that people want, and they will be playable on the PS4, Xbox One, and the Xbox One S. But the hardware will be extremely downgraded. You know, that's the thing. Think of it as multi-platform games that get released on, Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, and PS3. Is when you look at the Xbox One PS4 versions, they are absolutely amazing because the fact that technology is basically current and new. You know, it's modern. But you look at the game on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and it's basically anemic because of the fact the hardware inside them is so old that you basically don't get the full version, and that's the thing. And I think in a few years to come, it will end up being like that. It's like if you want the full version of the game, you'll have to buy it on PS4 Neo and Xbox One Scorpio. But if you're not able to do that, you'll still be able to play the game on PS4 and Xbox One. You'll still be able to play the game on PS4 and Xbox One, but it will be extremely downgraded. And I think that's what will cause a lot of problems, is that once that day happens, consumers will have to upgrade to Sony and Microsoft's upgraded consoles. And I think that's what will cause a lot of problems, is that they can say that in the meantime that there isn't going to be any sort of, like, you know, mess up sort of exclusivity between the different versions, but you will end up you will end up needing to upgrade. And I think that's the one thing that kind of scares a lot of consumers and even, you know, developers, because once that happens, you know, they have to make games for, you know, Xbox Scorpio, PlayStation Neo, Xbox One and PS4, as well as obviously Nintendo consoles. But the thing is, to do that, you need the extra hardware and the power. And I think that's what will hurt a lot of people, is once that happens, a lot of people will just not bother with the old ones. You know, they'll want the new ones. And I think that's what kind of scares a lot of people. And I do end up thinking, and I do think that they'll end up pulling a new 3DS, because the fact that people will want these full-on experiences with these games, you know, that's the thing. And I think it really, really will hurt consumers once that happens. And it's scary, but that's just the way it's going with them. You know, that's why I think I like what Nintendo's doing, is that they're making a whole new home console instead of upgrading. You know, they're not making a Wii U 1.5 or whatever, you know what I mean? Which would be interesting to see that, but, you know, that's the thing, is that the reason they're doing that is because of the fact they don't like to basically hit the reset button every single 5 or 6 years. You know, they just want to basically keep the, you know, the consoles going. But if you think about it, Sony and Microsoft, think about it, are basically going to be stuck in the 8th generation because of the fact that these are just upgraded versions. You know, that's the thing, and it will annoy a lot of people. Kind of like the, you know, in like the phone market and stuff, the iPads and tablets. It's the same thing. It will hurt a lot of consumers, and it's a shame, but it's just the way it goes. And you know, that's just the way it's going to be going. So I just want to say, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. But stay tuned to my next videos, and also I'll be doing hopefully soon, my 100 video special. So I look forward to that, and I hope you lot are looking forward to that. So I just want to say, see you later. Bye.